This prison broke all the rules. I'm Rebecca Lieb.
I'm Jason Horton.
And this is Ghost Town.
So we've spent a lot of time in Los Angeles. We do. We favor LA a lot.
We live here. We know this place. But, you know, it's not what it's all about. There's a whole world out there.
We're going to go to a little place called the East Coast. Ooh,
Ugh.
What? That's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Man, it's cold.
It's cold. Well,
how's parking over there?
Parking's great. If you go to the Eastern State Penitentiary, parking's free if you're an inmate. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I love it. I can't wait.
It is like, you know, it's a very popular tourist destination. Mm-hmm. It is abandoned. I guess it's, you know, not in commission anymore.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about...
Until you went there. Until they were like, we're starting this up again.
Yeah, bring it back.
Sir,
you have an iPhone and you're taking pictures, so we're going to start this up again. My brother lives in Philadelphia, and, you know, I did some things like, you know, I like to go see where, like, Rocky was filmed. So I've done that and, you know, took some pictures where it was like Rocky's... his apartment, and I seen a lot of people take pictures there. You know, it's a popular thing, and there's like kind of like cute twin girls that took pictures there. And then I go there with my brother, and he's like, I think it's in a pretty rough part of town, but maybe it's, you know, been kind of, you know, like a lot of things gentrified. No. My brother pulled over and parked. He just ran over a bunch of hypodermic needles.
Whoa.
And there was people like in a van, maybe stealing it.
Wow.
Maybe not. They were just like, what are these dudes doing here? It's on a dead end.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
I had been there once when I was very young, so I had no cognizance of like neighborhood and socioeconomics. Yeah. But that's scary.
Yeah. I think I could be wrong. This might be, and if you're from the area, I apologize. It might be in the Kensington district. But there's a residence an area called Nicetown. Mm-hmm. The name is misleading.
It's Mean Town.
I might tell a story.
Grumpy Town.
I might tell a little story about the Queen of Nicetown someday. Not now. You gotta wait. But
I want it now.
You have to. You have to subscribe.
I want to hear it now.
You gotta subscribe to the podcast to get some of that juicy stuff. So
I'm a part of this podcast.
No.
Can you just whisper it to me?
No.
Just whisper it. You guys pay attention to something else. Jason's going to tell me the story. And then...
The Queen of Nicetown isn't really royalty.
Oh, shit.
And what she's the queen of is not something you want to be the queen of. How's that? Yeah.
That is a tease. That's a classic Jason Horton tease.
Yes. So Philadelphia, you know, obviously a very historic city. You know,
Love it.
If you're into the United States and democracy,
Liberty Bell. If you're into Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh, yeah. Or Tasty Cakes. You know Tasty Cakes?
Yeah, Tasty Cakes, for sure. Actually, my uncle used to live in Philadelphia for a very long time.
I did a stand-up show. It was like for like a kind of like adjacent to Temple University, so it was a lot of college kids. Yeah. Super nice. It was
my first
cool
roommate
show.
Went to Temple. She's a doctor now. Her name is Lacey Summer.
Well, the people there did not get or were interested in my tasty cake based humor.
What?
Yeah, they did not. Were not interested.
They didn't like your tasty cake take deep cuts.
No, and I do 17 minutes on tasty cakes.
That's a tight 17.
No, it's pretty loose because I'll go 26.
A lot of I'll
go.
What's I going to say next?
And I'll be like,
let me check my list.
Let's break out the etymology of the word tasty cake.
Okay, sit down, buckle up. This is going to be a wild tasty cake ride.
We are going to talk about Eastern State Penitentiary.
Wait, can we just backpedal for a second? Tasty cakes, can you just explain what they specifically are? This is a part of your bits. You're very
what they are is that's something you put in your mouth to trick you that you're happy, but you know you're not happy. You know you're miserable. It's, you know, I guess it would be equivalent to maybe like an Entenmann's or
it's like a
Drake's cakes.
Yeah, it's like
there's many
that
different
fake
things.
chocolate and like the cream center.
They have a lot of different brands.
Yeah,
fruit pies.
Variety. Such a variety.
But the factory is in
Did you tour the? I would love to.
No, I didn't do a tour of that factory. I don't know if they have. I didn't get into it. They have tours, but it's interesting because Trenton is very close by, Trenton, New Jersey, and there's a bridge. You can probably find the pictures online, but it's very passive aggressive and sad. It says Trenton makes, the world takes.
Oh my God. Fuck you.
Yeah.
We give you what you want, and what do you give us?
You just make fun
Not
of
even
us.
a thanks.
I mean, in Trenton, there's just a lot of. I think Camden, New Jersey, which is very close by.
That's where my uncle lived. I mean, my uncle lived in, okay, when I say Philly, I mean, he lived in these places you're talking about, and it was the most depressing. Even as like a 6-year-old, I was like, this is depressing.
I've when you think about, crime and poverty-ridden places, Camden will end up on every single list. Camden, New Jersey will be on every single list of those places for every year. It doesn't go off. And I've lived in one of the places that are on those lists, and it's not there every year. Oh. So Camden, New Jersey's there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely got, it was a perfect time to, go check out. It was raining.
Yeah.
And,
moody.
Moody.
Just
some of it's indoors, some is outdoors.
East Coast, here we are,
Yeah.
the dregs.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So,
Damn, I was just here in sunny LA, working my job, living life, and surfing.
My brother, he works in. I'm not going to say what he does for a living, but his job revolves around
CIA.
His job revolves around
Tasty Cake CEO,
kind of
the
kind
queen
of observing
of
what's
Nice
going
Town.
on. But he's not a police officer. But he knows a lot of the neighborhoods, and he is very familiar with the kind of the demographics and what's going on. But he refers to, I use some of his joke and say Philadelphia.
Oh, that's
he
clever.
says it's Philadelphia.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is a lot more stark.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it is.
It's pretty tough. But I got those Rocky pictures. I'll put them up.
That's great. You got to put them up.
I was like, I'll do it for
for the fans.
my hobby that nobody else really cares about. So did that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You got to check that box if you're there. I think.
Yeah.
Did you see the Liberty Bell?
I went the last time. That's in. I think that's in Center City. Again, you can feel free to correct me, Philadelphia people out there.
Yeah,
I think it's
we're talking about the most basic Philadelphia points of interest right
Yeah.
now. Although when I was learning about Philadelphia too, and when when my uncle lived there, Philadelphia used to be kind of the first stop before New York that artists would showcase their work. Like Andy Warhol used to showcase all of his different exhibitions there. So it's actually pretty forward in that way too.
The Chainsmokers, they definitely. I don't know why. Throw Chainsmokers
okay.
When I want to think of something, I'm like, this is not good. This is not helping.
Yeah.
Nothing else. If you like the Chainsmokers, they haven't bothered me.
Wait, they're the one that sing "Cake by the Ocean"?
No, that's a Jonas Brother, I think.
No, it's
not?
We ain't never getting older.
Yes, that's
the song.
Chainsmokers.
Oh my
Yes.
God, I wasn't going through my horrible breakup and listening to that song. So now, not only is it a horrible
Did it
song,
help? Did you listen to it?
No, I think it
just
was
on?
torture. It was on every station.
Yeah.
It was on every fucking. I was just like, I am in a hell
Yeah.
of someone else's making
Yeah.
plus society's making.
Yeah.
I almost jumped off a bridge. Anyway,
Yeah.
this prison.
Great prison. A prison that, one of the things it's has very progressive in how it with rehabilitation over just incarceration, and it's the prison that a lot of prisons, mainly outside of the United States, modeled itself after. Whereas, which I found interesting, if you're familiar with Ossining State Prison, Sing Sing, in the United States, Sing Sing or Ossining is the prisons that in the United States it was modeled after Sing Sing because whatever their security layout, quarters, etc. So and actually Ossining, if I'd go past the between where I lived and commuting into the city, Ossining was one of the stops. So but this is one of the things where I when I was in Philadelphia, I was like, I want to do an episode of this. So I went there and I did the work.
You did.
I put the work in.
What's that like?
It makes it it's almost kind of like what you're talking about, which is weird. Because I think we always kind of have we always have kind of one step of separation between us and what we're talking about. It's always 2 or 3,
and,
but
we love the things we talk about, but also we're comedians. You don't come here for all the hard facts. You come here for some soft facts.
Yeah, and we're not going to solve any. We're not going to do what everyone else couldn't do. And I think some people might be like,
You didn't solve this.
Yeah, like where's your fresh new take with all the evidence you found that we're not privy to anyone else?
Yeah, no, we don't. We are privy to the things that you're privy to. We just take them and print them out on a piece of paper and stumble through them.
Just
not today.
Falling down a hill with our pockets full of rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
And broken glass.
Whoa, where'd I wake up?
So you want to hear a little bit about this?
I do, because prison culture is really interesting, and I think I knew some people.
It's amazing. It's
just like the things I knew. I have two friends who worked in prisons, and they are really everything they talk about is incredible. One of them would cut movies, like he worked for a movie distributor for exclusively prisons, and like where they would cut and like what point, like what they couldn't have and what they could have. My other friend taught prisoners so they could get their GED, and it was like holy shit, the different people that run through there and like the different viewpoints. Like we are so far removed from our prisons and incarceration.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there was a time where I was working at a pizza place back in New York, and this other dude, he's like, I'm going to do corrections as a corrections officer. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to see how it is. And maybe I'll do that too, because that was,
oh my God, what if you become a correctional officer?
He was there and he came back. He did it for a week and he quit. He was like, I can't do it. And he was like probably a little bit tougher than me. And I was like, nah, I'm just not going to do it. I do wish I gave it a
can, and you're like, back to the pizza place.
I wish I could have. I wish I gave it a shot, just for the sake of, not that I'm not like a proponent of like good, because I want to keep criminals down. Like it's not. It's just for like, because there was a time where I was like, yeah, I'll do that as a job, and I did not do that. As close as I got. I will say before we get into it, and we're going to get into it, I'm going to tease our newest Patreon episode.
Okay.
And tell me if this interests you. If this doesn't interest you, Rebecca,
okay,
we won't record it.
I will be honest.
I won't put it up.
I'll be honest with you.
What if this episode revolves around two things? UFOs and Nazis.
Oh my God.
Is that, not interested? No thanks? No way? Not interested? Okay.
Give me that Patreon.
Yeah. So that episode is out now. It is the newest episode. It revolves around UFOs.
Oh my God.
A little sprinkling of Nazis.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh,
and you're going to
sweet spots.
And you can check it out at patreon.com/ghosttownpod. And then you have access to all the episodes. 2 episodes a month we put up. We had a couple of new patrons this month. Thank you so much.
We love you so much.
And we're people are like, what are you doing with that money?
Yeah. Buying riches, Ferraris.
Buying Uggs.
Yeah.
We talked about having a what do you call it? An Amazon wish
list.
And then people be like, but it's just Uggs.
It's just Uggs. Every style, every color. We need those Uggs.
Yeah.
Get us those Uggs.
I want Uggs for my hands.
I need them.
Do they have eye Uggs? Because I want them.
Exactly. A body Ugg. You zip into one. We need 2 because they're a pair, because they're shoes.
Yeah. So we're talking about that, but we started submitting to some festivals to do this podcast, because we did our live show, and we're also working on that little tour, but we also want to do some festivals to meet and different people doing different things.
Exactly.
And
this is like a goal setting episode too, where we're telling you our goals so we manifest them into the universe and they become a reality.
Yeah, so patreon.com/ghosttownpod, and you can get that sweet UFO Nazi hybrid. That you never knew you wanted, but now you do.
You did know, and now you got it.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, just like Trenton, New Jersey.
But let's serve some time.
Yeah.
So Eastern State Penitentiary is in Philadelphia, located at 2027 Fairmont Avenue. And it is in the Fairmont section of Philadelphia. It was operational from 1829 to 1971. Good stretch.
Wow, that's a nice long run.
Early on in like the the prison industrial complex in the United States.
Just like the dirtiest points of our history that prison hit.
But it was pretty revolutionary. With the system of separate incarceration. It was first pioneered. Actually, at the Walnut Street Jail, which was close by, but they took that idea that emphasized principles of reform rather than just punishment. Because,
love it. That's great.
That's otherwise then what?
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother story that people are like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, exactly. People are like,
you don't want to know what we think.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just like
we're keeping it real balanced.
We are trying to just get through
Just the
this
facts.
information, and if we can discuss it via some social media avenue in all caps, I'm open to it.
And then your avatar has to be you in your truck with like some yelling,
or it's
ranting.
like a heavily pixelated picture of you from 14 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have a phone. I love seeing shit like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like you haven't had a phone ever. It's from a fucking disposable underwater camera.
Yeah, where did you get that? When it was first built, it was the largest and most expensive public structure ever constructed, quickly becoming a model for more than 300 prisons worldwide. Like mostly outside of the United States, and Ossining would be the model for the U.S. prisons. And it became a huge tourist attraction. United States at one point trailing only Niagara Falls. This was a little less stuff out there, especially there's like in the mid 1800s that people were like, wow, there's because I like I said, I was there, and we were going to hear some audio from me at the prison. Talking about the prison, just to give it a little levels. Do you like levels?
I like levels.
I think Avicii. Let's say, you say Avicii? Why do you let him rest in peace?
I will not.
You won't. You keep.
I will not. He lives among us.
I mean, listen.
You buy me 4 Uggs for my wish list. I will shut the fuck up about Avicii.
Okay. Well, I think that's worth it. So put out your sizes. So mingling conflicts and tourists. At the time, like that was just like when it was a tourist attraction in the mid 1800s. But it worked out because at that time it was it was like a 23 hours in isolation cells and 1 hour for rec time.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. And the other hour they spent outdoors. This is way back in the day. They spent mostly alone with leather bags over their heads.
Oh my God, that's like
just to get your fresh air. But
the medieval like prison. Or you're just like, God. Yeah.
Guards wore socks over their shoes to hear any attempts to communicate between cells, and visitors often remarked on the unearthly silence of the place. So, I mean, it's like you think a lot of loud noise, but maybe like the silence is...
I think that's scarier.
So when they first... when it first opened, the conditions were so bad, they only had 3G Wi-Fi.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Only
you take it back. You take it back. How many bars? You don't lie to me. Do not lie to me.
Well, they said there was more bars in the prison than there were on the phones. So that was that I just came with just now. Should I do like tourist humor? I don't know what I should be doing. Where's my market?
This is great. This has been a real like cheeky episode already.
Yeah,
we got into it.
And the thing is, I actually did a lot of research and spent a lot of time there.
I'm undercutting all of it.
Yeah, well, I made that joke with my brother when I was there because I think actually my brother because there's like a section in there where you can go and there's like really good cell service and there's a coffee shop. My brother was like. He's like, doesn't seem really bad here. There's like coffee shop. They got cell phone service. They got charging station. I was like, I don't get it. So I got to give him credit for that one.
That's great.
Yeah. But the cell accommodations were pretty advanced. Faucet with running water, toilet, curved pipes, which served as central heating during the winter months. Because it gets cold, baby. It gets cold when you're there. And then... to keep the cells reasonably heated, toilets were remotely flushed twice a week by the guards of the cell block. So you get to flush. You get 2 flushes a week.
That's it. And I don't know if you guys can hear this, but there's someone who's working on my apartment complex's lawn and maintaining it. So it might be annoying on the podcast, but just know that I do live in a place, in an apartment, and they care
it's
about...
well manicured.
Yeah.
It's well manicured.
So just, I don't know. It's okay. Deal with it.
I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk about a couple of interesting folk, and then I'm going to get into my audio.
I like that.
And then you're going to get just a little point of view, and then we'll cut back into it. But we're going to talk about, notable visitors before we get into it is Charles Dickens.
Oh,
you checked it out. You needed some inspiration.
Inspo, yeah.
But I want to talk about some notable inmates. Willie Sutton, who's known as the Babe Ruth of bank robbers.
What?
Yeah.
So many home runs.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alcoholic? Obese? Horrible chewing tobacco problem?
No, this guy's pretty slick. This guy's pretty cool.
Okay.
He's the Babe Ruth as far as like not... as far as Babe Ruth was like really like a celebrity and like good at it.
Okay.
Also good at getting caught.
Yeah.
Good at escaping though.
Oh.
Then good at getting caught again.
Slippery.
Yeah, he's
I
slippery.
like it. The ferret.
And, a guy, you know what I call him? I call him AC. Some call him Alphonse Capone. You call him Al Capone.
Yeah,
Who am I
do.
talking about?
Al Capone.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Al Capone's stay there.
Okay.
So
God,
let's.
he's been everywhere.
He's been everywhere, and
Capone.
we're going to check out this audio right now.
I love it.
I'm at cell number 68, and there was a prison break here. The escape was planned by Clarence Kleindist. I spent a year digging a tunnel out of cell 68, which I'm at right now, and it was planned by him and his cellmate William Russell. They dug into the wall of their cell 15 feet down, 97 feet under the courtyard, and 15 feet up. They had lights and wood bracing, and by April 3rd, 1945, the tunnel was complete. 10 inmates joined the escape on the way. One of the latecomers was bank robber Slick Willie, who's the Babe Ruth of bank robbers. 12 inmates emerged from the tunnel at the corner of 22nd Street and Fairmount Avenue and scattered into the neighborhood. Sutton was captured minutes later, 2 blocks from the penitentiary. He later claimed public credit for the tunnel's design and construction. Kleindis was out for 3 hours. An additional 3 to 6 years was added to his sentence. And Russell was captured and seriously injured 6 days after he escaped while he walked into a police trap at the home of a former girlfriend. I'm at the cell where Al Capone was. He was in Philadelphia, traveling from Atlantic City. In May 1929, he was arrested outside a movie theater for carrying a concealed, unlicensed .38 caliber revolver, and it's considered a luxury cell. It's known as Park Avenue.
Yeah, because you heard like did it sound like I was in the place? Ooh. Did it sound like I was like deep in it? Did it sound like I was channeling anything that was going on? Yeah, a little bit. Why not? So it was interesting about the Al Capone. They don't know which one he stayed in. There's 2 side by side, 2 cells. The cell on the facing it on the.
How do they not know which cell he stayed in? They're like, I don't know, the records.
Yeah, I don't know, or if he like kind of went in between 2. But the one on the left, which could have been the one he stayed in, they actually.
Which one has Al Capone written? Which one has a tunnel under?
Was here.
Al Capone was
WC. Yeah.
Or which one has a spoon dug tunnel behind a poster?
That would be the one that Willie Sutton and his buds tried to escape from.
Okay.
And I saw that. That's pretty cool.
Shit.
As I discussed in the thing.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, on the left is what it might have looked like. And it was a pretty slick. It was like 2 beds. It looked like if it was an apartment in LA, it would probably be like a $2,600 a month apartment.
Yeah, of course. No parking, not including utilities.
Yeah, not at all.
Don't even think about having pets. Kill your pets.
Yeah, no pet deposit. Forget it. And there's one on the right that's empty, but they don't know which one it is. I don't know for what reason they don't. They're like, you're gonna be pretty, but we're gonna talk about you for a while.
Yeah.
What's interesting about that section? It's a very like kind of main thoroughfare because obviously, the way there's just different cell blocks, almost like form like a star almost. And I feel like the one where Al Capone is a real central hub because obviously for tourist reasons.
Yeah, but also like why? Why would they put him in the middle of this block? Of all people.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about why he was there and stuff like that. But what I did figure out, because you're familiar with the Dead Milkmen? Okay, Dead Milkmen. They're from Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. They filmed their music video for the song "Punk Rock Girl" there, and I was trying to find the spot of one of those videos, and it ended up being. I actually asked one of the tour guides, and she says, "Yeah, this is where it was in that area where Al Capone was," and it makes sense because it's open. And it's it's probably like let's just set up shop here. So I was trying to like do like a photo match of it. I'm just interested in that kind of stuff. And I'm huge Dead Milkmen fan, so I did that. I didn't care. So we talked about they're really manicuring out there.
Yeah, they're really getting
it. Better look freaking gorgeous.
Yeah,
it better be gorgeous,
like manicured.
So what happened? I'm going to talk a little bit about Al Capone. What happened with our buddy Al? He was on May 16th, 1929. and I kind of go over this a little bit. Don't go over it again. He had a concealed weapon. It wasn't even anything compared to like what he did, and he was indicted by grand jury, and the trial was held, and he entered a plea of guilty, and it was just sentenced to 1 year in a nice little chill
just like
room that we don't know which one it is.
Yeah, pick a room. Pick one of the 2 rooms. I love how they always get incarcerated for like the tiniest, and it's like, okay, I guess I'll go to jail for this tiny fucking thing, get out for good behavior after a minute, and get back to work.
Yeah. Doing crimes.
Doing some crimes.
Doing some hot crimes.
Some
and Willie Sutton, he would escape. He'd get caught, and then he escape again. Like there's one time he escaped, when he escaped for the second time in 1947, he and some other prisoners, they dressed as prison guards, carried ladders across the prison yard. After dark, when the prison searchlights went on, and everyone's like, hey, what are you doing over there? Willie,
they were like, prison garden.
He yelled, it's all right. Like, it's all good. And they're like, oh, he just said it's all good.
Chill. Yeah. All right.
Cool,
get
cool,
back to just doing whatever. I don't know.
And they escaped and eventually got caught.
God.
Willie Sutton eventually was, served a lot of time and ended up in Florida. Because from what I gather, he was not... He was, I don't know, I'm not gonna say they're victimless crimes, but there's no like strong arm.
Yeah.
I guess if you're robbing a bank, that is like considered strong arm, but he didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
And he was a pretty, kind of a pretty like slick dude, like cool.
Yeah, cool guy.
Like how people kind of treat Ted Bundy now, except for
which
all
is
the
appalling.
disgust. Like, yeah.
It's like, handsome.
Yeah.
Handsome murderer.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's like, no, this person is a deranged person.
Yeah. I don't.
His skin suit doesn't give him away, but like he's a fucking insane shit show of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So but if he was single now,
I mean,
come on,
is he gonna pay for my 3 Pinot Grigios at La Poubelle?
Yeah.
We'll see, Ted Bundy.
Yeah. He can't hear you. So he can't hear you. So there's also Holmesburg Prison, which is close by. That's also still technically used a little bit. That's where I think there was some overflow, and then people were held back and forth. But I want to check out Holmesburg. That's still technically being used, but not as like a incarcerating prisoners. It's just like a lot of prisons.
It's just like it's historic Prison Row over there.
Well, I mean, the northeast, Eastern Northeast is, there's 13 colonies. You're gonna get some prisons in there. New York has some prisons.
Some bad people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Puritans, a lot of God-fearing people. There's also some
baddies.
People.
Sometimes they're one and the same.
Exactly.
Oh.
What?
Hello, political much?
I know. So many levels. Can't keep up.
So there was by 1913 they had there was a solitary system, and they abandoned that, and they made it where it was like congregation. There was maybe a general gen pop, and eventually it closed in 1970. They were just like, what do you like? Sometimes prisons run out their technological. It's like, is it worth the upkeep? And times have changed.
I assume the technology is involved in the prison where it's like heating and cooling and water. It's like we can do this way better. We just have to start over. Kind of thing.
And now it's a historical landmark, which is great. So it was just like too overcrowded. I mean, I'm sure they put people in prison for a lot of good reasons. I'm sure there was some reasons like. What's really sad is like things like and this tour really like kind of points out like how we are a society about how we treated and still treat homosexuality.
Oh man.
What is perversion, like sodomy,
Yeah.
being a vagrant is criminal.
Yeah.
Just being like, I'm homeless and poor, that's a crime.
Yeah.
Homosexuality is a crime. So if you're, why is there overcrowding? It's not just because everyone is, Al Capone or Willie Sutton. It's because people, and it's a bummer,
Yeah.
it's a huge bummer. But the prison also, obviously they do with a Halloween thing called Tales of Terror or Tower of. It's already terrifying because I went and it was raining.
Yeah, you don't need like some like fake cobwebs to make something like this feel horrible.
It's very interesting, you know, and just seeing where Willie Sutton and his buds tried to escape, and you could see it dug, you know, you could see like the kind of the wall dug out. It was just really amazing. They do there's some art installations that kind of related to incarceration in prisons and with letters that are been written. It was just very interesting, and it's also, I mean, literally like across the street. Could be somebody's house or back in this, you know, whatever might be, gas station. So it's not like you go up a long hill and it's secluded. No, it's like across the street is the prison, which I wonder, you know, when we probably talked about Alcatraz, and you know, you think like,
oh yes,
right across the, you know, that's like somebody's at home or somebody's
someone's like making a chicken breast for their keto diet, like across from Alcatraz.
So it was like, I want to escape. And I imagine just, you know, being there, like, how would you feel if you were like a prison but across the street is like, I mean, I don't know, there's kids walking back to school,
it's like
there's
kids and their, you know, balloons and radio flyers. I don't know. Any kids.
You're definitely, you should be a narc. you should definitely be a narc. So, you know, between like 1971 and essentially 1992, it was abandoned. And I think, you know, during that time, it's just a lot of, I mean, listen, Philadelphia's had a tough share of economics, and between 1971 and 1992 it wasn't easy either.
Yeah.
So they're probably like, what do you want us to do? We're not like, there's no reason to do anything because we have other problems. But it was just overrun by weeds and feral cats. So it was run by cats. It was a cat prison.
Run by cats.
Yeah.
That's my kind of prison.
There was a time when they talked into turning it into a shopping mall or condos.
Okay, who would shop there and who would live there?
I don't. It would be
like, we put a new molding in this torture chamber where guys with leather bags over their heads used to hang out.
I think they probably would like raise it, or they probably like knock it down.
They wouldn't just.
They'd be like, they wouldn't make it like
it still had like the prison, like the iron gates to every cell.
No, but 1992 they reopened it.
Just put a ficus in there.
Yeah. Okay. Then it's, but in the beginning you had to sign a safety waiver and wear hard hats because I think it's in a state of preserved ruin, I guess, which I know if we've discussed. So they do just enough to keep it up. They don't like do any really upkeep. They try to like maintain the integrity without it being dangerous. So there's like wood reinforcements. So, but at that time it was like, this is like literally might fall apart in your head.
Yeah.
So you got to wear a hard hat. And some of the things that were filmed there.
As if that would help too. Also, like if it
a big
crumbled
spike
on you, like a hard hat, you're dead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you know, if they had like a helmet made of an UGG, you'd
a soft plush. Cranium would be cradled with whatever hairs, animal hairs in there. Ooh,
yum.
Plug for the UGG.
12 Monkeys was filmed there.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of Philadelphia's known, you know, M. Night Shyamalan, he didn't film there, but a lot of things were filmed there.
Yeah.
Like I said, Dead Milkman, Tina Turner made a rock video there. Sting.
Rock and roll?
Sting, yeah. Transformers, I believe Rise of the Fallen was filmed there. And they actually I was talking to the one of the tour guides, and I guess some of Creed 2 was filmed there, but they never actually ended up using it.
Oh.
So it was a huge bummer.
Oh man, I just saw. This is a real tangent. Sorry everybody, but I work on this show and we were trying to make a game that involved an MRI machine, and my boss found a video of Sting being put into an MRI and like his brain getting tested, and it was like let's send this video, and it's a horrifying video from like 1990 something of Sting getting into an MRI into like a death chamber. And he was like, just send this to the celebrity. They'll be fine with it. They immediately shut it down.
I thought you were going to talk about MRIs because of boxing and like getting hit.
No. I thought of Sting, and I thought of, there's this great video out there of him nervously getting into an MRI.
And you thought maybe you would use that to...
It was not my idea, but it was my boss who was like, here, another celebrity got into an MRI. How about you? No.
Okay, so that
anyway, was that valuable?
That was yeah. But if you're in the Philadelphia area, I highly suggest checking it out. There'll be I took some video,
some vid.
Check that out as well, and some pics on our Instagram, which is Ghost Town Pod. And as soon as you're done with this, just go to our Amazon wish list and
just put a couple in your cart.
We want to be ensconced in Uggs.
I want to be warm.
I use the word ensconced.